There is a story that has gripped the human imagination for over 90 years, a story about power. It began with a film, in 1933, with a creature no one had ever imagined. His name is King Kong, and this is his complete history. From a black and white screen in 1933 to a $500 million cinematic universe in 2024. 91 years, 9 films, one legend that has never stopped growing. This is the story of how an 18-inch model made of rabbit fur and wire became the most enduring monster in the history of cinema. This is King Kong, the complete history, from 1933 to 2024. It began adventurer, soldier, filmmaker, and one of the most restless imaginations of the 20th century. He had a dream that kept returning. A giant ape, loose in the most modern city on Earth. He brought that dream to RKO Pictures, with a model 18 inches tall, applied to a monster. King Kong opened on March 2nd, 1933, a world depths of the greater than its suffering. Audiences had never seen anything like it. People screamed, some fainted. The filmer, it saved RKO Pictures from bankruptcy. A monster had rescued a studio. But the question that would follow Kong for 90 years was already forming in 1933. Why did they love a monster? Because Kong was never just a monster. He was destroyed by a world he did not understand him. That is why we still remember him. That is why the story did not end in 1933. It was only beginning. Kong was too powerful an idea to stay in 1933.
King Kong vs. Godzilla became the highest attended Godzilla film in Japanese cinema history. Kong crossed an ocean culture.
1976, Hollywood tried again, this time setting Kong against the oil industry, the Twin Towers, and a world that had lost its sense of wonder. The 1976 film was divisive, but it gave Kong something new, the ability to suffer. The creature had become a character. Then came 2005, and a New Zealand director named Peter Jackson who had loved King Kong since the age of 9. Jackson's King Kong was 3 hours and 7 minutes. Of obsessive love, every frame a tribute. Andy Serkis to emotional complexity, a creature that communicate grief, loneliness, and joy. Each era of Kong held a mirror to its time. 1976, in an age of exploitation. By 2005, Kong had become one of cinema's most complex characters. The myth had become permanent. Then legendary and avoided for decades. They built a shared universe, not for superheroes, for monsters. Kong, 2017. This Kong was not the tragic exile of 1933. He was a king born to his role. Godzilla vs. Kong, the battle 59 years in the making. The fight the entire world had been waiting for.
Godzilla vs. Kong earned $467 million worldwide during a global pandemic.
But what the Monsterverse truly built was not box office. It was mythology. A film that dug beneath the earth itself to reveal that Kong's history stretched further than anyone had imagined. Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire earned over $567 million. But across every version, the guardian of 2017, Kong remained the same creature at his core. A creature of immense power and unexpected feeling. An apex that could be moved. A king who could be lonely. 9 films, 9 different Kongs. But always, without exception, the same question beneath the spectacle. What does it mean to be the most powerful thing in the room and still not be safe? That question does not belong to 1933. It belongs to every age that has ever asked it. King Kong created a template. Every monster film that followed owes him a debt. The sympathetic creature, the monster as mirror. Godzilla himself was directly inspired by the original King Kong. The greatest monster franchise in history began with a debt to Kong. Kong drove 3 revolutions in special effects: stop motion, performance capture, digital CGI. It has entered the permanent vocabulary of human culture. Scholars have read Kong as a metaphor for colonialism, the wild creature capsules and embodies its myths. Others have read him as the natural world itself, magnificent, irreplaceable, and human greed and the hunger for spectacle. Both readings are true, and neither cancels the other. And that is part of why the character has lasted when simpler monsters have not. King Kong is the only monster in cinema history who makes them root for the creature over the humans trying to stop it.
It was beauty that killed the beast. That single line, written in 1932 by Merian C.
91 years later, that line still lands.
Built frame by painstaking frame in a Hollywood studio in 1932, and still being written today.
And the 10th film in the Monsterverse is already in development. The story is not over. It has never been over. Here is what I want you to carry with you. In 1932, a man with a restless mind and an adventurer heart looked at the New York skyline. That question has generated 91 years of film, one restless imagination shaping permanently. We love Kong because we recognize him, We have all felt too large for the world placed around us.
And we have all felt beauty. The kind that stops everything. The kind that makes the climb worthwhile even when you know it ends at the top.
It was beauty that killed the beast. But beauty is also why we keep bringing him back. We cannot help ourselves. We never could. Merian C saw a Kong film made after 1962. He never saw what his question became. But his question outlasted him by more than 50 years. And it is still not finished. King Kong, 91 years old, 9 films, 1 myth, still the king. Long may he reign.